Greetings, citizens. I am FailureToReport, and it's time to talk about space whaling, paying to win, setting the lords apart from the peasants. That's right. Thank you, Chris Roberts. You finally pushed me after 6 years to make a video dedicated to Star Citizen's pay-to-win nightmare. You the man. So, if you're out of the loop, Cloud Imperium recently lifted the cap on purchasing UEC from the RSI website. What is UEC, you may be asking? It's the in-game currency or credits for Star Citizen. So, with the removal of the previous limit of 150k UEC total, it's brought the spotlight of pay-to-win back to Star Citizen. Who would have thought that that would do it instead of buying millions of UEC worth of ships before the game is even fleshed out? But if there's one thing I've learned in my years of following this game, it's that none of the normal gaming industry rules apply here. I'm still eagerly awaiting CIG to make loot boxes to thunderous applause from the Star Citizen community, so I've got that coming for me. Now, before we really cut this turd open, I just want to give a quick shout out to all the Star Citizen Knights of the Croberts who felt the need to denounce my criticism of mining being behind a paywall with "ship purchases are in 3.3, bruh, do you even follow this game?" Let me think.
To the monthly report, which went out yesterday, it says the monthly report talked about ship renting in the PU. Is this still on track for 3.3?
I mean, our intention is to get the ability to rent ships and purchase ships.
Gee, what did I say was going to happen again? Oh, right. It was going to get pushed out for some BS reason. I'm going to air quote that pushed out because we've all heard this before. And oh, look, ship purchases aren't even on the roadmap. That all-transparent holy grail of the backer fanatics. Weird, huh? So then, now that we've covered yet another I told you so, let's get on with the main show. When CIG first pulled the UEC cap, the Star Citizen subreddit was in uproar for about a day or two, with shouts of, "Oh my god, they're making Star Citizen pay to win! This is so wrong!" But don't worry, ye faithful. Soon after, Chris Roberts sent out a letter letting the followers of the Dream know that it doesn't matter if they let whales preload their accounts with millions of UEC in addition to all of their Idris frigates, Javelin destroyers, Pioneer mobile construction ships, Orion mining capitals, or their Hull D haulers. That sounds weird saying back to back. That stuff won't matter because, as Chris Roberts is saying, there's no finish line to race to, so you can't win. Because, as Chris says, you win by having fun.
And we already have a certain level of inequality because people have, different numbers of ships. I mean, some people just have one Aurora, and some people have got a massive fleet. And, 150 UEC, 1,000 UEC is nothing compared to an Idris or a Constellation or a Reclaimer.
Great PR line there, Chris. Let's talk about this a little bit, shall we, citizens? First and foremost, let's go back in time and rehash one of those conversations people used to beat to death about how it isn't pay to win for someone like myself to buy a capital class hauler like a Hull E, while you, viewer, let's say, can only afford to buy a starter package hauler like an Avenger Titan. Or maybe you spend a little bit more and buy a Hull A entry-level hauler. Now, the tried and true argument of the Star Citizen Defender has always been, it doesn't matter if whales can buy these huge expensive ships because they can't use them when the game goes live anyways, because operating cost and needing crew, things like that. Now, assuming Failure has no friends and I can't find a crew for my giant space truck that utterly dwarfs your peasant minivan hauler, guess what the UEC cap removal allows me to do? That's right, you lowly person. I can now preload my account with UEC every day until the release of Star Citizen, so as to have the funds to hire AI crew members to take care of any roles I can't, since I'm so unlikable and nobody wants to play with me. Operating cost, you say? Guess what? I've got that covered too. With the removal of the UEC cap, CIG has officially cleared the last bit of dust off my new space throne so that I can lord over all the peasants in the verse who didn't want to give CIG the money that I did, thus assuring my rightful place over them. All praise Christ Roberts. Now, I use space trucking as a baseline example, but guess what? This officially translates to any other ship role or type of gameplay. Mining, have fun breaking rocks with a hand tool at the beginning of the game to fill your Aurora's cute little cargo box. I'm going to go pay some AI crew for my giant Orion and start cruising in my industrial mining ship. Combat? Oh, that's cute. You and your friend pitched in together, so you could afford to crew a little Cutlass? Oh my god. It'd be a shame if I deleted that from existence with my Polaris or my fully AI manned Retaliator, huh? Hell, I don't even need to break out the bigger ships, because guess what? I can just go straight to blowing you up with my Eclipse, because now that I have unlimited access to UAC, I can just buy tons of torpedoes and easily pay any operating costs of my Eclipse. Sucks to be a poor peasant, huh? Now, if my attitude and demeanor in this last little segment has you very bothered and you're like, oh, fuck Failure, he's a spoiled piece of shit, that's the point I'm trying to get at, right? Is Chris Roberts and CIG have completely enabled the people who have this mentality of I'm better than you because I can spend more money and I can thus affect your gameplay with mine because I have more money and I'm now in control. I now have the upper hand over you purely based on my wallet. So, moving on. Now, I'd like to think at this point we've illustrated that uncapping UEC opens the door to even more pay-to-win issues with Star Citizen. But now the faithful backers are proclaiming that it doesn't matter because there's no winning in Star Citizen. Because, you know, Chris said that, so it's true, I guess. To those people, were you born utterly stupid, or was there a specific turning point in your life that got you to where you are today? There is absolutely winning in Star Citizen in every aspect of its proposed someday in the future gameplay. The combat winning is a very obvious one, so I'm not going to go too deep into that. We'll kind of skip over it a little bit, maybe circle back if we get to it. But another future issue that I told backers was going to come about, which is now fully realized thanks to this new change, let's talk about prospecting and markets. Remember land claims? Ah, yes, I remember land claims fondly. Now, Chris and company sold us on land claims by saying it didn't matter because, hey, you have to go out and find good spots and do all this other stuff. It just gives you a deed so you don't have to buy one from the UEE before claiming your land. Well, now that I have access to every ship I've ever bought, I can go right to hunting the best resource areas on a planet and planting my land claim beacon, while you have to build your way up to even be able to afford to get out there in the verse, get the equipment, and be able to go looking for a resource-rich area. By the time you've managed to get enough credits to make your way out into the verse and finding a decent planet, my fellow space whales and I have already used our fully operational pioneers to set up shop on those areas. So, get off my lawn, peasant! Congratulations, I'm now beating you by taking resources away from you, keeping you struggling to pay your bills, by denying you the same opportunity to homestead because I spent more money than you. And this is really just a tip of the iceberg example. A comparison to trading, for example, is also easily accomplished, but because I know how many backers are deep down Care Bears who just wanted to space haul or mine in peace, which I'm totally fine with, like that was part of my draw to Star Citizen as well. I really wanted to do space trucking and trading, mined goods, stuff like that, so I'm not knocking it. I'm only going to be talking about your denial of the truth of what Star Citizen is going to be. So I'm going to skip the whole trading comparison and throw you a curveball. I now have access to my full fleet of operational ships. While you're out there trying to get a grip on the game and work your way out of an Aurora or maybe a freelancer because you spent $100 and were like, hey, fuck it, I really believe in this game. I'm going to kill the crap out of you with my Eclipse Stealth Bomber that cost me $280. Or my Heavy Fighter Vanguard, which cost me like, what was that, $250? Something like that? Because I can. I don't really need anything from you, but as a space whale, it helps my inferiority complex to lord over others' gameplay with my real-life money. Maybe I'll let my buddy Moospeed pick over the remains and the wreck of your ship for salvage because he likes that kind of gameplay. But, I mean, for me, I'm just getting off on your misery. To those of you who keep believing this lie that Chris Roberts keeps peddling that you won't have to be affected by others if you don't want to, just remember how he baited you all into giving him money with, oh, if you don't want a PvP, you can use this PvP switch to turn it off and you won't have to. Then it came to, oh no, there's not going to be a PvP switch. But don't worry, the dream is that there will be 90% AI in the universe, so you won't have to worry about players. You can have the kind of gameplay that you want. Right, so there's 2 million backers, which, by the way, there totally aren't 2 million backers. There's 2 million registered accounts. The actual number of people with packages is something like 900,000, which came from Turbulent, so just saying. Maybe someday there will be 100 solar systems, which, you know, at the rate we're going, good luck with that. We're 7 years in and we don't have one solar system yet. People who want to kill players are going to do it, regardless of wanted levels or penalties. And that's literally documented so well in basically every MMO ever made that has PvP in it. So with this new development of UEC cap being removed, I'd really like to urge those of you who are still backers of this game not to just silently go back into your submission chair. One of the biggest reasons that I have so little respect for the Star Citizen community is because they're like passive cows waiting to be milked. And then when Chris tugs on their little tits too hard, they get fussy for a few days, and then they sit down after Chris makes a couple cooing noises and kind of pats him on the nose like, "Oh, that's a good whale. That's a good whale. Just let me have your wallet once more. Come on. I'm gonna make everything better. All those dreams that you have for your game, it's totally gonna be like that. Yeah, everything's gonna be great." You all get so worked up about former backers who want to refund and get out of the game because they're taking money away from the dream and ruining everything with gross over speculation about how much harm those people are actually causing. Yet you completely play ignorant to the blatant clusterfucking that you enable CIG to do. It's this kind of enabling behavior that has led to CIG becoming the company it is today versus what it originally started off as and what it promised to be. And thus, the gaming community outside of Star Citizen looks in at this project as a cult-backed scam. Refunders did not do this. CIG did. They're responsible for the image this game has, not refunders. There's no grand conspiracy of goons running around fucking ruining Star Citizen. It is by CIG's behavior and the community's support that Star Citizen looks the way it does to outsiders. So keep that in mind. Next time CIG pulls some stupid shit, stick to your guns. Stick to your argument. Don't just back down because Chris sends out a fucking letter from the chairman saying, "It's going to be all right one day, guys. I promise." Oh, God. So that's my 2 cents on this whole mess. I've maintained for years, even as a backer, even as a somewhere just shy of $10,000 backer, that Star Citizen had a massive pay-to-win problem. And as with all of Star Citizen's issues, they just keep getting worse as things crawl along. Now, I know this video is coming in late on the topic, but I've spent the last weeks or so kind of getting ready to move and in the process of moving and now finally done moving. So that's my excuse for the late arrival. I apologize. I'd like to get around to talking about Chris's beautiful chat he had with Jared on the flight model, hopefully sometime this week. But I also want to start working on some specific videos based around Warframe, which has been kind of like my more recent passion game. So I can't promise when that's going to land, but one of the big things about finally getting this move over with that has kind of occupied me for the last couple months is that I'm going to try to give this channel the attention you guys keep asking for. So I apologize that I've spent the last few months trying to figure all this moving stuff out, and with it finally sorted, I'm going to do my best to start pushing regular content for you guys. So as long as it's something that I feel is worth doing and I'm passionate about, you can expect to see a little bit more regular content coming out of the channel. So with all that, I will see you guys around the verse. Bye, spaceships.